Okay, welcome to Bocce Dome. Bocce Dome was designed to have a bit of an open forum to talk about all things about bocce. As we've seen the game, it's evolved over the last 50 years, and it's funny how you mention bocce to people and they really don't know what the game is, and we get different perceptions about it. It's throwing a ball, it's people standing and throwing a ball and everyone having fun, but you know, the game itself is more than that. And I guess over the coming weeks, there's going to be a series of episodes of Bocce Dome, and we're going to be discussing and honing in right on exactly what bocce is about, why people play the game. It's it's being played all over the world, and I'm pretty sure people don't even know that. So to help me do that, we've assembled some really classy looking people from what I can see. There's some of our elite bocce players that we have all from Australia. Starting from Nicole Sampson, the lovely Nicole Sampson. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
How are you going? This woman is at the top of her game. She's probably leading our women's sector at the moment in the country, and of recent times has teamed up with her brother. And it's great to have you here, Nicole.
Thanks. I'm excited to talk about all things bocce.
Good on you. Then we have Max Dracario. How are you, Max?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you, Tony?
I'm very well. Max is one of our juniors. Well, was our juniors. He's sort of moved right along now. I remember when he first started. Max was one of our leading juniors in Victoria. He's competed at state level, national levels, and gone on to play at international levels. Welcome, buddy.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me.
And then we have the Mr. Iconic Dino Mikulik. Where do I start talking about this bloke? He is the backbone of bocce, I think. He's the most senior bloke on the panel, may I say. He's been playing bocce the longest out of the three. And I don't know if there's any accolades this bloke hasn't achieved. He's terrorised bocce courts all over the country and all over the world. And he's dealt out some serious whippings. And I should know because I've been on the end of a couple of them myself. Welcome, Dino. Good to have you, man.
Thanks for those kind words, Tony.
That's all right.
So bocce is a sport similar to lawn bowls, where you throw the ball in some sand and then you try hit the smaller ball.
I'm not exactly sure what bocce is, but it sounds like something like lawn bowls.
The coloured balls, it's like
you throw them in an area.
yeah. I think it's a game that people that are old play in a park.
Okay, we just had our bocce game go out in the streets, as you saw, asking random people what they thought our game was all about. And it's really funny how the perception of our game is it's got a stigma of being an old person's game. And I guess, Dino, you're the most senior guy here, so I'm going to open it up to you first. Why do you think that our game has that stigma? When you and I and all of us here know that that's not the game, how do we get it across to the public, I guess? I mean, this forum, it's a great idea, but where do we go from that?
Well, it's all about showcasing our youth. As you can see, the game is, from those clips that we saw there, just full of physicality, but also the game's full of mental toughness as well. So the physical, the mental endurance, that, people don't realise how the game really is. It's not just about bowling a ball in a park or something like that. It's a game of tactics. It's a game of precision and last man standing.
Yeah, well, my friends always say to me, isn't bocce just an easy sport? Like, you just have to throw a ball or just chuck a ball and hit it. And I'm like, I always say to them, it's actually so hard. Like, you have no idea.
Max, you're a junior. I mean, you tell me, how many sports are available to you today? And you choose bocce. Why is that?
Yeah, so when I was very young, like I had the same stigma as we saw people on the streets thinking, oh, bocce's just for old people. And then I was introduced to the game with a few other young kids around my age. I think I was about 12 years old. And we started throwing, and it started getting very fast paced and very mental, like Dino said. Yeah, it was a very exciting sport. It was unique, and it gave me the opportunity to not only travel around Australia, but around the world.
And that's the other thing too. It's the all walks of races it attracts, all age groups. You can play it socially. You know, how many times you see people playing out in the park and they think that's great, but do they know what they can actually evolve into, aspire to being like you guys, elite bocce athletes? You know, Nicole, how many times have you been overseas, you know, I mean, in your own right, you know, playing for yourself and also playing with Daniel, your brother, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get to meet in some later episodes, you know?
So yeah, the sport has taken me and my brother overseas a few times now. And it's funny because we actually were introduced to the sport in my grandfather's home country, Slovenia. So we went there when we were quite young, and we were just playing around on the courts in the village. And yeah, we were interested in it and came back to Australia, and first my brother got into it, and then I came along later. It's more than just a game in the park or a game that old people play.
It is a young person sport, Tony, but the unique beauty of this sport, it caters for all ages too. You know, it doesn't discriminate between age or even size or gender. It's just a sport for everyone. And you could be 10 years old or 9 years old, and you can still enjoy the game and the competitiveness of the game and the social side of the game. So it's just so unique.
You know, like. Anyway, look. In conclusion, I think the thing I like about the game, it gives you a choice. This sport gives you a choice. You can play it at whatever level you want to play it, and put as much time as you want to put in it. You want to do it socially, you do it socially. Or if you want to put the time in and the hours and all the hard work and up early, running in the morning, all this, you end up like you guys. You become the elite players of the sport. Okay, each week, as a bit of a fun part of the episode, we're going to be showing you a short clip. Could be a bocce game, could be anything that's happened in the bocce world. But we're going to actually cut it off at the very end, and hence that's why it's called What Happens Next. And we will reveal the answer in the following episode of Bocce Dome. And this week's clip, I believe, is the 2019 Asian Oceania Pacific Games, where there was a doubles game, and I think yours truly was playing in this game, so I remember it very well. Here's the clip now, and we'll talk about it, what happens next. Yeah, I remember that game very clearly. If I'm not mistaken, Dino, you were commentating on that game at the time.
Yeah, well, Sonia, Favre, and myself were commentating on that at that particular moment, and it was quite a situation or a pretty tricky outcome actually in the end.
And look, comment. There should be information down below on the screen where you can actually reply back and have a go and try to determine what happened next. Anyway, that's it for tonight on the Bocce Dome in our inaugural night. I think it went really well. It's a really valuable contribution by all our panel. A couple of thank yous. I'd like to thank BA, Bocce Australia, for made this all possible. Daniel Spielberg Samsa for all his material and videos. Thank you very much, Daniel. It was good to work with you. And to the panel, thank you very much, Disco, Dino Disco Mikulik, Nicole Sassy Samsa, and Mad Max Tricario. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, Tony.
No worries. And to all our viewers, I'll see you next time we meet in the Bocce Dome. And remember, if you're not playing bocce, you're not loving life. I'll see you later. Cheers.